And we are just about 7 hours away from a possible government shutdown that could affect millions. And that is where we begin for you tonight. Good evening, and thanks so much for being with us. I'm Jennifer Bellamy.
And I'm Faith Jesse. And that government shutdown, it could happen as the clock strikes midnight. Let's take a live look up in Washington from the U.S. Capitol, where lawmakers now have less than 7 hours to reach a compromise deal to keep the government funded. Zach Merchant, my co-anchor of the Georgia Vote, is tracking it all for us. Zach, we know you've been on and off the phones, texting, through emails, hearing from lawmakers here in Georgia as well as in Washington. Where do things stand at this hour?
Things are a little bit standing, and some might say standing still. The big sticking point in this ongoing budget negotiation is health care. Democrats say they want the new spending bill to include increased funding for health care and an extension of Affordable Care Act subsidies. Republicans have opposed that, urging Democrats to vote for a competing bill that would keep the government funded at roughly its current levels for the next 5, 6, 7 weeks or so. Now, if a deal is not reached by midnight tonight, the federal government will shut down. Typically, that means federal employees would be furloughed and then they would be brought back once the shutdown ends. When legislators get together, they get a compromise bill done. This time, things might be different. President Trump, in recent days, has threatened to fire some of the federal workforce if the government shuts down. Here is what he said this morning.
Mr. President, if there is a shutdown, how many federal workers do you plan to lay off?
Well, we may do a lot, and that's only because of the Democrats. And as you know, they wanted to be able to take care of people that have come into our country illegally, and no system can handle that.
So you heard him alluding to that there. President Donald Trump and other Republicans have argued Democrats want to extend health care coverage to undocumented immigrants. In an interview today, Charlie Bailey, the chairman of the Democratic Party of Georgia, disputed that.
You know, Zach, I could say that the moon is made of green cheese. Don't make it so. You know, it's not true that illegal immigrants and undocumented folks get Medicaid and Medicare or ACA subsidies. It's just not true.
So these are some of the big fault lines emerging right now in Washington and across the country. Congress and President Trump, we want to be very clear, they still have time to reach a deal. In some ways, in Congress time, 7 hours is a lifetime. They can get a lot done, maybe. Right now, both sides, they appear to be a ways away from compromise. The clock is ticking. That government shutdown happens at midnight tonight.
That clock is ticking, a lot of finger pointing going on. Zach, we appreciate you tracking this for us. There are 111,000 federal workers here in Georgia. The state sending an alert saying it is closely monitoring for a potential shutdown.